Virginia off in man-to-man. West Virginia similarly sized at every position, so they can switch every screen, every exchange. Watch for Purdue to look for slips of screens.
Kramer off to Etuan Moore, comes in averaging 16 a game. Very crafty scorer. Nice entry for Johnson on the easy stuff. And then Marcus Brown gets a chance to get into full throat early.
Bob Huggins going to be upset with his defense for allowing that pass in. That was a bullet right past an outstretched arm. John Flowers has to get a hand on that ball.
Devin Ebanks, so long and lanky at 6'9", does so many things well for Huggins. Jones out high. And here's Deshaun Butler giving it off. Shot clock at 8. Tipped away by Etuan Moore with 6 on the shot clock on that denied defense.
He got caught on a switch. Ebanks is 6'9", but anybody that Kramer's guarding, he can get right into him defensively.
Butler around and out off the inbounds play, and Purdue comes away with a basketball.
A good box out by Keaton Grant.
Here's Hummel on the wing. He's 15 and 7 coming in.
You can see the switches on all the exchanges and the screens. You have to really communicate if you're going to switch. Otherwise, you get caught on a slip.
Moore stops at the line. Off the fake. He draws the foul on the elbow. And only sealed when Deshaun Butler hit a long two-pointer. Certainly a candidate for Big Ten Player of the Year. Sinks them both.
Full court pressure. Keaton Grant guarding Truck Bryan in the backcourt, trying to slow the advance. West Virginia runs a 5-man motion. Run an open post. A lot of cut and fill. And the pressure really pushing them further out on the floor, disrupting their timing.
Bryant swings for Jones, looking inside. Nothing there. Smith off the fake. Into the lane. Knocked away. Knocked free by Grant. On a shovel. Can't lay it in. And a whistle on the foul against the Boilermakers. 18:07 to go in the first half. Bryant with a kick for Flowers. The 6'7" junior. Huggins really did go big today with his lineup, as he did against Marquette.
And ball handling really the issue with this lineup.
Ebanks trying to slash inside, left it short, rebounded up and in. And it's Kevin Jones working hard under there.
But Kevin Jones is an outstanding offensive rebounder, averaging just about 4 offensive rebounds per game. Oftentimes for West Virginia, their best offense can be a missed shot. They're getting half of their misses back on offensive rebounds.
Hummel trying to free up a big underneath. He'll shoot the long one and drain it. A two-pointer.
A lot different start for Purdue shooting the basketball than they had in their win at Iowa. Really got off to a slow start offensively and dug themselves quite a hole against the Hawkeyes. Wound up winning by double digits.
Butler up top. Went to the floor. No foul called. It'll go the other way. Purdue basketball. Kramer, one of the stickiest defenders in the country. Working with the basketball here on the drive and a spin. Great defense there as he was shut off by Butler. Truck Bryant's off to Flowers. He can't make a move. And staring at him, Juwan Johnson is so long.
Ebanks is trying to post up Chris Kramer, but Bryant wasn't able to get it to him because of the pressure on the ball. That's what Purdue does. One thing Purdue does so well is take care of the basketball. This is not a team that turns it over very much, so they don't have a lot of empty possessions.
So much of that seems to be a function of having played together so long and understanding where their teammates are all the time.
The rarity now to have a team together for as long as this team's been together. This junior class already has won 64 games in their career.
Ebanks pulling down the rebound. Ebanks had back-to-back double-doubles against Ole Miss's Seton Hall, and then in the last game against Marquette, he had 19 and 8. There's a holding foul before the drive, and West Virginia with the basketball. Feeling at the end of this one today, on the first day of the new year, the feeling of a defeat. Jay Billis and Dave O'Brien with you. This is Truck Bryant up high and dropping in a 3 for the Mountaineers of Bob Huggins.
That was the best execution of this young game for West Virginia. They have been bothered a little bit by the pressure that Purdue has put on them. Purdue is pushing them further out on the floor, and they have executed very well on the offensive end.
Moore can't answer. Rebound tipped into the corner as Hummel went chasing after it. Could not save it.
Rashawn Butler now being guarded by Ryan Smith. He is bigger and stronger than Smith.
Foul here against Purdue off the ball and against Hummel with 14:59 to go in the first half. So an early development not in the Boilermakers' favor. Rashawn Butler stops at the line and travels and fires the basketball down in anger. Bird, the freshman.
Juwan Johnson's got a matchup. He needs to get the ball. He's got Truck Bryant on him down low.
Johnson with the turn and fire. Good looking shot off his hand, but he couldn't hit it. Ebanks right down the lane. So long and lean and draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot.
But he is getting more and more comfortable playing on the perimeter, and he is a great rebounder. Not a good one, a great one.
And gets them both. So West Virginia with their first lead, 7-6. Kelsey Barlow down the lane, went for the dunk, and it might have been partially blocked. He couldn't get it.
Looked like it got a piece of the hand as well, but a strong move by Barlow.
Here's Jones. Yes, a three-pointer from the wing.
Jones is having a great year. Long-armed, a good defender.
Ryan Smith, no answer there, but the rebound comes out high for the sophomore, who can really shoot it. Barlow down low. Johnson stripped but foul on the play. He'll be shooting two. Johnson at the line where he's 71% in his career. A junior. His junior class with Robbie Hummel.
Foundation of the rebuilding program under Matt Painter, and this junior class has had great success. A couple years ago, 25 wins, 27 wins last year. They're 12-0 to start this year.
As you can see, Purdue recruiting from 3 states, 8 of their players from Indiana. West Virginia recruiting from 7 different states. Now the crowd wanted a turnover there, howling. Here's Smith up high, and it's around and out. Grant with a rebound.
Matt Painter really going to his bench early.
Smith trying to line up the 3. Up top here for Mark Wolford, another good three-point shooter. The drive by Grant left that one shy. Johnson does not. Tied at 10. Well, Purdue had gone nearly 4 minutes between field goals. Wellington Smith holding it. Pass intended for Jones. He can't reach it. It's on a play and turned over. Juwan Johnson taking his seat for the moment. Kramer spun into the paint. Can't find any lane there. Needing some help, and it's Grant.
A good poise by Chris Kramer. Really stuck there, but didn't panic and didn't walk.
Almost been quiet so far. But he draws the foul as he got hit on the head while shooting a 3.
He didn't even know he was approaching that record. He asked his SID after he found out. He says, "Why didn't you tell me?"
And he misses this one. 6-0 Purdue run, answering an 8-0 run. Blocking foul here.
That's 6 feet tall. He can guard a guy that's 6'9". Right now he is guarding a 6'9" guy in Ebanks.
Boy, Bryant really took advantage of Mark Wolford there. Just kept the ball on his hand and all the way through for an easy 2.
He's so big and strong. When he lowers that shoulder, it's awfully hard to keep him out of the lane. He was really a real scoring point guard.
And the foul will go against the Purdue Boilermakers here.
These guys have worked an awful lot of Final Fours among them.
Here's Joe Mazzulla into the ball game, still ailing with that left shoulder injury that cost him all but 7 games last year. Has the ball on the wing. Butler trying to create into the lane. Bit of a wild shot, rebounded up and off by Jones. And two good cracks at it, but neither would fall. Moore slashing in wildly and commits the foul. He was out of control there. All locked up 12-12, two undefeateds, and both teams ranked in the top 6. As Missoula is fouled around midcourt, that gives Matt Painter a chance to vent.
18 fouls for Purdue to this point. That is a big advantage for West Virginia if they're strong with the ball. Every common foul, they are shooting free throws the rest of the half. Mismatch for Johnson inside. Missoula switched off on him. They got to get him the ball.
Etuan Moore firing a pass, just cradled there by Kramer. Shot clock at 9 for the Boilermakers.
Purdue needs to start looking for slips off these screens.
Moore in heavy traffic. He's tied up and fouled. He has scored over 1,000 points in his career at Purdue. Robbie Hummel will step out right now. And DJ Bird, the freshman, in for him. Moore short rimming the foul shot. Missoula dribbling that one off himself, off his leg, and out of play. Missoula, very tough kid. Long one here from Bird, and that didn't touch anything, but a rebound knocked away from Johnson, and he'll be fouled on the play. And Deshaun Butler. Butler's first, Johnson at the line. And 74% as a team. So they have a distinct advantage if this comes down to a foul shooting contest in the last minute.
And against Marquette, West Virginia, as big and lengthy as they are, only shot 4 free throws against the Golden Eagles at home. That was really surprising.
Cam Thurman puts it to the deck. Off to Wellington Smith.
Butler trying to post up Chris Kramer.
They left that one well shy. Butler with a close up. Well, Kramer just got knocked into the stands by Butler. There was no call. Johnson underneath. He'll draw contact. Chris Kramer went flying into press row right into the radio announcers.
And it looks like the referee is going to take a look at this to see if there's anything flagrant.
Well, the crowd is chanting, "Throw him out," but
no,
that would be impossible.
After they see it, I think they will determine that what they're not only was nothing flagrant, there won't be anything that results from this. Yeah, I'm not sure any crew, once they looked at it on the replay, would have done anything about that. There was really nothing to that.
And Joanne Johnson trying to lengthen that lead for the Boilermakers. Both teams undefeated. Up to 5, and Purdue with a little bit of pressure. Jones up top, here's Thurman. Chuck Bryant on the drive, taken away by Johnson. He got tied up on the play. Off the inbounds, Butler. Oh, he got hit, and he made the shot nonetheless. Great body control by Deshaun Butler to bury that shot.
Well, Deshaun Butler is so good.
And he was the MVP in that tournament. So the lead cut to 2 just like that on the three-point play by Deshaun Butler. Hummel up top. It's Johnson again to his right. The bank shot won't go.
They are catching West Virginia on some switches.
Bryant, great fake. Can't find the angle, but it's tipped up and in.
It is so often the offensive rebound that hurts you against West Virginia. This is an outstanding offensive rebounding team. They get half of their misses. That's extraordinary.
The 4th and 5th points of the game for Deshaun Butler.
Use that left hand to tip it in.
Hummel with the swish. Butler deep into the corner. Here's Bryant. Thurman Pepper up high, launches and drills it, a three. So West Virginia has grabbed the lead back, and it's starting to go that way back and forth. Moore catches and fires. Yes, a three.
E'Twaun Moore is an outstanding player. I don't think he gets near the credit he deserves. Great steal.
And Barlow with the stuff. Timeout, West Virginia.
West Virginia averages 6-7 across their starting lineup. They're a very good offensive rebounding team, a great rebounding team in general. But Purdue's pressure defense has forced this West Virginia team a little further out on the floor, and it's made it very difficult for them to run their offense.
West Virginia a little bit fortunate to be undefeated. Stolen away here by Grant, Keaton Grant of the Boilermakers. He's a very good three-man, but off target there, and Jones plucks the rebound for West Virginia. They want to run, and they'll turn it over just like that to E'Twaun Moore on the drive. He can't cash in, but Grant does on the follow. But their defense has been relentless the last 3 or 4 minutes. Purdue coming in 12-0. West Virginia at 11-0. But they've won 3 streakers to stay perfect, mainly because of this man, Deshaun Butler, who's hit a couple of game-winning shots for the Mountaineers.
West Virginia not able to get the ball into an operating area. They can't make any passes.
And there's a 5-second violation. Could not make a pass. That's 4 straight West Virginia turnovers. And a timeout.
Well, they're going to be operating in close games in Big East play for the rest of the year. So that's something that West Virginia had better get used to. And Juwan Johnson having a terrific start. West Virginia is switching just about every screen, and they have been able to catch West Virginia on some bad switches and get some mismatches on Juwan Johnson inside. He's got to get the ball right now.
Trying to lob it inside was Hummel for Johnson, and they tie up Johnson and foul him.
This young man has a lot of ability. He's getting stronger, and he is certainly looking for his offense more over the last couple of years.
And 6'10". Now this is a 9-0 run for the Purdue Boilermakers to take an 8-point lead. Jones on a high post.
Chris Kramer showing his versatility, guarding 6'9" Devin Ebanks.
Butler on a follow away. Mitchell flips it up in the left hand, and it won't go in close. Although he got an excellent opportunity.
Yeah, Bob Huggins not going to be pleased with Casey Mitchell. That was a weak effort, and he needs to be stronger, especially in this environment.
Ryan Smith, who could really shoot it out there, 6'3" sophomore. And Grant will set it up. The Boilermakers going without their starting point guard, Lewis Jackson, probably done for the season because of foot surgery. And that's going to be an offensive foul.
And Matt Painter really going liberally to his bench, trying to get his regulars some rest so they can keep the defensive pressure on for an entire 40 minutes.
Look at Kramer bodying up there on Ebanks. Missoula slashing in and batted away by Johnson as he blocked it out of bounds. Butler, quick shot off the inbounds, won't go. And the Boilermakers trying to add to their 8-point lead. Smith was swinging to the foul line, picked off by Mitchell on the errant pass. He'll go in and commit an offensive foul, no basket.
But a lot of these turnovers have been forced. Another mismatch.
Inside. Johnson took advantage in a big way.
They've been doing that all game long, trying to get the mismatches off the switches. I think Bob Huggins is going to have to look at not switching every single screen because he's getting caught little on big.
Johnson may have 20 by halftime. He has 14 already. He is eating them alive underneath. 11-zip run here for Purdue. Here's Jones to loft it up. That won't quiet the crowd. Purdue by 10 in this battle of the undefeateds. Grant trying to bank it in. Got it back. Laid it up and in. West Virginia. The Huggins team has not scored in 4 minutes and 34 seconds.
Look how they have to catch the ball. They're catching the ball going away from the basket, and they're catching it 5 feet out on the floor further than they would normally catch it in an operating area. It's been all jump shots and all dribbling.
Ebanks cutting inside on the top of the iron, and another battle for the rebound. He'll bank it in.
He is just a great offensive rebounder.
14 points, 9 rebounds for Devin Ebanks, who missed their first 3 games because of personal issues, took a leave of absence, and in the very first game against Texas A&M, he came back in Anaheim. He scored 14 points with 9 rebounds.
Missoula back on Jawan Johnson.
Or with a misfire rebound to West Virginia. Missoula takes it. Nice feed. Butler fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 of 3, 10 to go in the half. On ESPN, Butler at the line and knocks in the first one.
Is showing how much more aggressive they have been. They've been going to the basket more, not settling for jump shots as much, and they've been getting the ball on switches into Jawan Johnson, and you can expect them to continue to do that. Johnson's been setting ball screens,
and he has been carving them up on the entry passes, delivering 14 points so far.
And you can see they've made an adjustment. They are not switching off him right now.
Or with the kick is Barlow, the freshman. Nice move. Son of the former Notre Dame star Ken Barlow.
Ken Barlow was a great player at Notre Dame, first-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Lakers in 1986, and his son Kelsey is big, strong, and very aggressive.
A foul here on E'Twaun Moore as Ebanks took a tumble.
Devin Ebanks coming out of high school
alongside Matt Painter. Ebanks very smooth at the line, and there aren't many at his size who run the floor like he does. 6'9".
Not an experienced lineup right now for Purdue. High ball screen. Look at the strength of Barlow.
Oh, he had the stuff right there, but it would not settle down.
Well, Matt Painter can live with that. That high ball screen, the flat screen, he came off it strong.
Mitchell comes strong into the corner to drill a 3.
Well, that's his game. He is an outstanding shooter, a bit streaky. And once he sees it go through the net, we'll have a lot more confidence, especially on the road.
So this is tightened up. Ryan Smith off the fake, trying to feed Johnson, has to bat it back out to keep it alive.
Smart play. This is a young lineup right now for Purdue. They've got to be strong with the ball.
It's Grant on the reverse. Beautifully done by Purdue.
Taking advantage of the overplay, the strong back cut. Not enough pressure on the ball to discourage that pass.
Jones left open on the wing. Buries a 3.
Kevin Jones has a lot of game. We've talked about E'Twaun Moore being an underrated player. I think you could say exactly the same thing about Kevin Jones, just a sophomore, and there's very little he can't do on a basketball floor.
Poor pass may have been tipped there as Bird gave it up. Now the run out, here's Butler, and off the window, no good. See if Barlow gets an open lane anytime again soon. A spectacular effort on the dunk that he missed moments ago.
Purdue last few possessions showed its youth.
45 seconds left here in the first half between two unbeaten. Smith missed badly as it clanged off the backboard. Mitchell will try another 3. Not this time. And a whistle underneath as Johnson went down. 33.4 seconds left, and with the pace evident right there. So 17 seconds left before halftime, and Barlow will handle the ball here. Purdue on top by 4.
I'll go with about 8.
6 making his move here. Down low is Johnson again, who's had such a big half, and he got hit. And he got hit pretty hard in the head there. He has 14 points and 6 rebounds.
Purdue has gotten the line far more than the Mountaineers.
In and out with a second one. Here's Butler with the heave and leaves it just short. And he played all but 1 minute for Matt Painter. Purdue opens up the second half with the basketball. And keep an eye on number 1 for West Virginia, Deshaun Butler. Etuan Moore's first jump shot, very feathery touch, but Butler did not score in the first 10 minutes. He did finish with 7 points in the first half.
And you can see that Bob Huggins in the first half made that adjustment of not switching off that ball screen. That time Juwan Johnson sets the ball screen. Moore is able to turn the corner and get an easy opportunity right in the middle of the lane. Well, that's a third foul on Chris Kramer right there. Kramer, Hummel, and Moore each had 2 fouls.
He heads to the bench. Jones on the low block, facing up on Hummel. Now flips up the hook and leaves it short. Rebound knocked right to Johnson.
Not a strong move there by Kevin Jones. He's stronger than that. He needed to go right at Robbie Hummel. Hummel's got 2 fouls. Didn't want to pick up his third right there after Kramer picked up his third.
Johnson looking for some help. Hands off for Etuan Moore. The junior to fire it up and draws the foul while shooting a long one. Got hit on the arm by Smith. 8 points thus far.
An 80% free throw shooter. It's going to put West Virginia back in the position. Do they switch or do they let Moore turn the corner where he's very adept?
Jumping that average to 16.4. Stuck back in by Moore. Wow. That gets everybody up and loud. Well, you talk about elevating quickly. He's going to commit a foul here.
30 feet from the basket. I wonder if this foul difficulty on the part of Moore and Kramer is going to take away a little bit of defensive aggressiveness from Purdue.
A timeout. Butler firing up a long one there, and they're going to look to see whether it's a 2 or a 3. So 42-34 Purdue. Both teams undefeated. Both teams ranked in the top 6. There's Johnson again. It's just been too easy.
Well, a beautiful pass. They caught Kevin Jones on the high side and threw the ball up to the corner of the backboard.
And a timeout.
Whenever he sets a ball screen, very good at moving his feet and rolling to the basket.
Keaton Grant with a quick hands all by himself. Into the backcourt loose, but Bryant on the turnover.
Has been incredibly difficult for West Virginia here in Mackey Arena.
Missoula really fighting with Grant there, but Keaton Grant trying to keep it alive. Missoula hits the deck, and he's on the line, and so it'll be Purdue basketball. So you have to admire the effort by Missoula, playing with an aching shoulder that he tore up last year. He only played in 7 games. And he's a left-handed guy, but he has to shoot his foul shots right-handed, and it's tough to watch. Barlow up top for Johnson.
He hurt that shoulder last year at Mississippi. Tried to give it a go against Davidson, but just couldn't.
Smith in the corner. Biggest lead of the ball game for the Boilermakers, 49-34.
And Matt Painter employing his team to pour it on defensively.
Missoula with a bounce for Bryant. Takes it in a little closer. Rebound tip to Smith. Purdue has not missed a shot in the second half. They're 5 for 5. Hummel gets himself free. Purdue up 51-34, and a whistle with 6:24 to go in the contest. And what does Bob Huggins do now? And will a sense of panic start to set in here? His team undefeated, although rather fortunate to be so, Jay, with those very close wins against Marquette and Seton Hall in particular.
They just have to be stronger. They have to be stronger with the ball, stronger in their cuts. Just picked up a third foul on Robbie Hummel there, and boy, Kelsey Barlow took one right in the chops. Went down like he was a fighter that got cracked in the chin.
Missoula up top. Here's West just into the ball game and swishes home with 3. Johnny West. Jerry West kid who can shoot it pretty well.
When your dad's the logo, you better be able to shoot it. He's the best shooter on this team.
Does not play much, but he's in the game to give them some instant offense, and he's done that. Great little curl down low and an easy bucket there on a quick strike by the Boilermakers.
A really smart cut by Ryan Smith and a very nice delivery.
Foul and a tangle up on the floor here. The whistle with 15:31 to go.
If horses can't breathe, they cannot run to their full potential. My main focus on research is really studying conditions that affect their performance, and it turns out that asthma is quite common.
80% of the horses that we examined had some form of equine asthma. And obviously for a racehorse that's being asked to perform at top speeds, it's really important that the airway is healthy.
Having asthma limits your potential, and so if we can detect it, treat it effectively, then horses can go back and be their own self.
We do this work because we do love the horses, but there are certainly implications for human health. So hopefully the more that we learn about the disease process in the horses will generate new hypotheses and give us some ideas of other interventions that can work in the human patient as well.
You went to college? You're smart. So why are you getting ripped off on your student loans? At Credible.com, we've helped tens of thousands of people save money by refinancing their student loans. In 3 minutes, we'll get you actual rates from multiple lenders. We could save you hundreds of dollars a month by refinancing to a lower rate. Don't get ripped off on your student loans. Let's focus on your future, not your debt.
Visit Credible.com and in 3 minutes, see how much you could save.
Here's Butler up top. Pretty quiet game so far for Deshaun Butler. Stolen away by Smith. Up ahead trying to batter his way through, and he'll hit the deck and go to the line with 15:10 to go. And the sophomore has really elevated his play. St. Thomas in the Paradise Jam, he had 16 in their semifinal win against St. Joe's. Had 19 points his entire freshman year. And has half a dozen here today against undefeated West Virginia.
Vitwan Moore back into the ball game. He's got to be very smart defensively so he doesn't pick up another foul. There's a long way to go in this ball game. And you've got Hummel, Kramer, and Moore with 3 fouls each.
Eubanks bouncing for Butler.
You can see that West Virginia is swinging those arms, trying to clear some space.
Eubanks short with it. Johnson hauls in the rebound.
There's been no clear path to the basket on any drive for West Virginia. Purdue has been terrific defensively.
Nice tip by Butler. Bird bouncing in for Johnson. He's just been a man under there and draws another foul. He has been a giant today.
West Virginia just getting caught on rotations. The rotation comes over. That's not the kind of rotation that Bob Huggins likes. He wants the nearest guard to come over on a baseline drive, because when the big guy helps, then it's a guard that has to rotate down. And that guard was Johnny West. There was no way that West was going to be able to stop Juwan Johnson. You can see when the ball gets to the baseline here, baseline drive, the big guy helps. That means that Johnny West comes over, and as a 6'2" guard, there's no way he's going to be able to get over there and stop the bigger and stronger Juwan Johnson.
Rounded out, but he has 19 points. By the way, Purdue still hasn't missed a shot from the field in the second half. They're 8 for 8. And they lead it by 20.
Boy, they're having to catch the ball. Going away from the basket. That's an offensive foul
on Jennings.
When he was guarding Manny Harris, I don't necessarily think it was intentional to break his face, but it was certainly intentional to clear that space out.
Beatty putting it to the deck, now hits the deck and loses it. Back over to Butler in West Virginia. Pepper, tremendous fake. On the dish, Flowers will finish it.
The first thing that West Virginia has gotten that's been in any way easy, and it was only because it was in transition. A 1-3-1 half-court trap. This is where the length of West Virginia might be able to have a little bit of an impact, and it'll give Purdue a different look, maybe slow him down a bit. Want to try to engage the middleman.
Johnson out to Smith. Back to the 6'10 man. Working close. And Hummel high up for the rebound to keep it alive. You made the point early in the second half, Jake. They're just out hustling West Virginia.
Yeah, right now no blockout responsibilities that are defined, and Robbie Hummel making him pay for the second opportunity.
A 23-7 run for the Boilermakers. Ebanks airborne. Tough angle. That spins out on the follow. It comes out to Smith. Around the back. Hummel on the baseline. Kramer gives it up to the three-point shooter. And a high rebound for him. Hummel trying to heat up. Now they're putting on a show again. Timeout, West Virginia.
In today's ball game, they have really shot the ball well, but their defense has really set the tone.
54% shooting it so far. Pepper lost it off his leg. And back over to the Boilermakers. Everything breaking against Bob Huggins right now.
Well, just a really intelligent reach in there by Chris Kramer.
West Virginia 5 turnovers, 3 field goals in the second half. Etuan Moore up top. Now Hummel is becoming the hot hand right now, even more so than Juwan Johnson. Moore with a pull up and swishes it. Boy, it just looks so easy.
They're just operating right now with certainly no game pressure, but not a lot of ball pressure either. Now West Virginia is out of sync in every area of their game. And when you're not scoring the ball, it's really difficult to keep up your defensive intensity.
64-39. Thurman gives it up. Ebanks lifts and gets it.
West Virginia really hasn't been able to get anything other than some contested jump shots. That was really the first shot in rhythm they've gotten in this second half.
Well, Purdue long ago, very early in the season, lost their point guard, Lewis Jackson. And there were a lot of folks who were predicting they were a Final Four team until they lost him. Here's Hummel again. Oh, all net for Robbie Hummel.
Yeah, what a nice two-man game run with Juwan Johnson there. That was a couple of mature players working together to take advantage of the defense.
Purdue absolutely lights out since halftime. On the entry, Jones got a great angle and banked it in. 66-43. And would you have imagined, Jay, that 23 points would separate these teams coming up in the 10-minute mark of the second half?
I would not have. But that's how impressive that the defense has been for Purdue. I mean, even if Purdue wasn't shooting the ball as well as they have been, they'd be ahead in this game by virtue of their defense.
Moore at the foul line, gives it up. Kramer rarely shoots unless he's in close. Gives it up to Johnson, and that won't fall in. Purdue has still scored on 13 out of 15 trips. Jones, the easy way, scores it for West Virginia. And a timeout here for Matt Painter.
But they have not played to the level they're capable of playing thus far.
Well, you and I saw Texas play a great game against Michigan State in Austin. And they could very well be a number 1, too. And Kansas, for the first time since the polling started this year, was not a unanimous number 1. Rod Barlow, he's had a very impressive game, but he hasn't been able to finish at times. And a foul, 9:16 to go. And it's 45 Purdue. Outstanding, and particularly in the second half. They had a 5-point lead going into the second 20 minutes. And they have really blown the doors off West Virginia by shooting 12 out of 16 since the break. Johnson, who's had a tremendous day, off that side of the iron and out of play. It'll be back over West Virginia.
But one thing you notice, there was no pressure on E'Twaun Moore. You know, as a passer, you can pick almost any defense apart if you don't have any pressure. He had zero pressure on him on that last possession.
Barlow had the rebound batted out from behind. Here's Butler. He'll bury the three. So Deshaun Butler, they need him to heat up in a hurry if they're going to cut into this lead. He has 12. Not a good shooting day thus far for the senior. Hummel with it now. He hasn't missed. He's 6 for 6.
He doesn't force anything. You hardly ever see Robbie Hummel take a bad shot.
Johnson right back up, and 2 more for him as he continues to pour it on with 21.
And how about the way he kept it high? Doesn't bring that ball down, give anybody a chance to take that ball away or knock it away. And West Virginia looks a little bit demoralized right now. They're trying to play hard, but it's a struggle.
Butler fouled as he went sailing into the lane, but Matt Painter and the Boilermaker fans wanted a traveling violation instead.
I'm not sure there's anybody that you would say, boy, that's a great team right now. Everybody seems to look a little bit vulnerable in one area.
Deshaun Butler, the senior from Newark, New Jersey, to the stripe, where he hits 79% of his free throws.
He's been having a great year. This game against Seton Hall was all around. He had 21 points, 6 boards, 6 assists.
He has hit a pair of game-winning shots already this season for West Virginia.
1-2-2 3-quarter court pressure. Got to attack this pressure to score.
Lead cut to 18. Here's Kramer on the wing. More on the drive to the baseline.
Nobody cuts that baseline off.
And it barely got to Hummel.
See, Butler would normally have taken that ball away. They're not alert right now.
Shot clock at 5. Ward took a glance at it. The fall away. Kind of a line drive shot into the corner. It goes, and Ebanks with a rebound.
Last several possessions, Purdue has not executed on the offensive end.
They have looked somewhat choppy after getting out of the gate in such torrid fashion. Now a whistle in the lane. It'll go against Barlow of Purdue. That got popped in the mouth and just under the nose and was bleeding. Thurman pulling in, follows his own miss for 2. Well, now it's tightened up on an 11-2 run here for West Virginia. I say tighten up, it's a 16-point game. Grant, the alley-oop. Johnson mishandles, but not that time.
How about the quick reaction time by Jawan Johnson? From the time he caught it, bobbled it, it was so quick up on the other side of the basket.
He and E'Twaun Moore, they get into the air very quickly, don't they? Stolen away by Moore with the quick hands.
Just a horrible pass.
(70-52) Purdue. Kramer, a great defender, again looking to free up Johnson, who has 23 to lead all scorers. See if Purdue gets back into rhythm. Moore with another fall away, and a rebound comes to Ebanks.
Numbers.
3-on-2. Bryant at the line, swishes it home. 70-54. Some late life here for the Mountaineers.
There's still plenty of time left in this ball game. West Virginia, if they can continue to get some stops.
Back to Johnson. That's been automatic all day.
Well, that's how you attack pressure to score.
Oh, he's having a career day. 25 to this point. Smith looking inside. Butler directing traffic from the lane, wanted it back. Thurman on the drive. Kept that foot down. Rebounded away by Johnson.
Deshaun Butler cannot find any daylight when he's being guarded by Chris Kramer. You're just not going to find a perimeter defender that is going to fight you any harder than Kramer will fight you. And he can guard guys of any size. And maybe the best perimeter defender we've seen to this point in the season together, Dave, was Doge Balbay at Texas. But Balbay couldn't guard a 6'9" guy like Kramer can. He's the most versatile defender, I think, in the country.
Forward the dribble drive, flips it up with the right hand, rebounded away by Butler, who has shown a little bit of frustration. The bounce pass, tough handle there for Ebanks. Ebanks then pointed up toward the rim and said, "That's where I wanted it."
He's 6'9". You don't want to throw it down by his ankles. Throw it up by the rim where he can go get it.
The crowd back into it at Mackey. Coming up on 4 minutes to go.
Going with a 1-4 low, trying to use some clock.
Thurman handling more there and fouls Etuan Moore with 4:03 to go. They'll come out right here and get a standing ovation. He has been the driving force for undefeated Purdue, trying to go to 13-0. Or killing a little bit of the clock here. Trying to take some of the starch out of the comeback effort by the Mountaineers.
Salting this game away.
Boy, the lane opens up and blocked by Jennings and out of play by West Virginia with 8 on the shot clock, and we have a timeout. Blocking foul here against Butler of West Virginia with 3:33 to go.
It's the 6th-team foul, so they will not be shooting on that common foul. Be out of bounds underneath. Dave, you look at this Purdue team, and clearly this is a huge win for them. Not just the fact that they're looks like they're going to win the game, but how they're doing it. And looking down the road, you wonder what could keep them from reaching their potential. I mean, certainly injury, but they're not deep at point guard. Having Lewis Jackson would really have been a huge boost to this team. That was a very difficult injury to have early in the season for him to be lost.
And yet to handle West Virginia unbeaten and ranked number 6 in the country, granted on their home court here at Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, to handle them the way they have in the second half maybe makes you look at them a little differently now.
Emphatic statement, no question about it. And it makes you look, frankly, a little bit differently at West Virginia. That maybe they've been exposed, that their point guard play has not been stellar. Truck Bryant did not play well in this ballgame. Joe Mazzulla's been hurt. He tried.
Pepper with a short jump shot. 72-56.
1-2-2 3/4 court pressure. And you still have to attack this aggressively to score. Catch, face, and look to score.
Now Purdue has played such an intelligent game. Hummel and Johnson taking smart shot after smart shot. They've made 14 out of 20 combining for 40 points.
One of the guys I thought that really set the tone early on in the game was Keaton Grant on the defensive end. Defensively, I thought he was outstanding.
Hummel still burying everything he has taken. He is 7 for 7.
How many of those shots do you think he hit growing up in Valparaiso, Indiana? He grew up, he was a ball boy for Homer Drew at Valpo. But you can see that turnover margin just magnificent today.
18 West Virginia turnovers. It ties their season high. They're in a vice grip for stretches today, courtesy of the Boilermakers.
Now they can just use some clock, that high ball screen, and Etuan Moore just going to take it on his own. Good move.
And it'll fall in for him.
Just a nice little step-through move, nothing forced.
Purdue shooting over 50% for the day. 77-56. Butler with a long one, and that drops from 3-point distance. Well, many started to kind of write off Purdue after they lost Lewis Jackson, a point guard. They're going to have to reconsider writing them off in terms of being a Final Four team, not in terms of being a national power.
Well, both these teams are capable of making the Final Four. I'm not sure you would say either one of them are prohibitive favorites, but there's no question that Purdue can play with anyone. Think about how far this program has come under Matt Painter in the last 4 years. And this is a great program win for the Boilermakers.
Hummel finally misses a shot.
Get him out of there. Hard to believe.
7 out of 8.
The only thing he's missed all day long.
So the waning seconds as an undefeated team here for West Virginia and Bob Huggins, as they will taste a loss for the first time, and it happens in the new year. They will drop to 11-1, and the Boilermakers will improve to 13-0. And staring into the face of the Big Ten Conference schedule now. They have one win in the Big Ten. They play like this, they're going to be tough for anybody to beat.